Hey everyone! Today we're diving into the awesome history of Portugal. Now I know what you're thinking. Portugal? Isn't that the place with those yummy custard tarts and amazing soccer players? And yeah, you're not wrong. But Portugal is way more than that. It's like that quiet kid in class who surprises everyone with their hidden talents. Tucked away on the edge of Europe, Portugal has a history full of adventure, awesome discoveries, and some seriously cool culture. It's a country that's been around the block a few times, from ancient empires to global exploration. We're talking stunning beaches, rolling vineyards, and cities bursting with life. Portugal was once the big cheese, the head honcho of a global empire. Whether you're chilling in Porto with a fancy drink or getting lost in Lisbon's maze-like streets, every corner has a story to tell. And trust me, these stories are epic. We're talking Roman emperors, Moorish architecture, and explorers who sailed to the ends of the earth. But it's not just about the past. Portugal is a melting pot of food, music, and traditions that are alive and kicking. So buckle up, because we're about to go on a wild ride through time, exploring the fascinating history of this little country that made a big impact. Okay, before we had those delicious custard tarts, we had the Romans, and these guys were all about conquering new places. Around 200 BC, they marched into Portugal, which back then was part of a place called Lusitania. Now the Romans weren't just about fighting. They were amazing builders too. They built roads, bridges, and aqueducts like it was nobody's business. These guys basically laid the foundation for Portugal's modern-day infrastructure. They also introduced their language, which eventually became Portuguese, and a whole new way of life. Fast forward a few hundred years, and in the 8th century AD, the Moors arrived from North Africa. These guys were like the architects and mathematicians of their time. They brought their own unique style and left their mark on Portugal. You can still see it today in the beautiful tile work and even in the food, like the citrus fruits they introduced. The Moors basically set the stage for Portugal's golden age, the age of discovery. Alright, time to talk about the age of discovery. The time when Portugal basically said to the world, "Hold my drink, everyone, and watch this." From the 1400s to the 1600s, Portugal was the star of the show. Portuguese explorers weren't just finding new places, they were opening up entire continents and figuring out how to get there by sea. We're talking about legends like Vasco da Gama, who found a way to sail all the way to India in 1498. And then there was Ferdinand Magellan, a Portuguese explorer who sailed under the Spanish flag. He led the first expedition to sail around the entire world, proving that the Earth wasn't flat. But the age of discovery wasn't just about gold and spices. The Portuguese left their mark wherever they went, and you can still see their influence in places like Brazil, Mozambique, and Goa. It was a time of incredible adventures and big dreams, driven by the desire to explore the unknown. But with great power comes great responsibility, and Portugal's role in global trade was about to get really interesting. So, Portugal's age of discovery wasn't just about finding new places, it was about setting up shop. The trade routes they established became superhighways for goods, ideas, and sadly, even things like slavery. Portugal's empire stretched across the globe from Brazil to Angola, from Goa to Macau. This massive network of territories made Portugal a major player in global trade. Spices from the east, sugar from Brazil, and gold from Africa all flowed into Portuguese ports, making Lisbon one of the richest cities in Europe. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Portugal had some serious competition from other European powers like Spain, England, and the Netherlands. They even had to sign a treaty with Spain, dividing up the newly discovered lands. And as if that wasn't enough, Portugal faced some major challenges, like the devastating Lisbon earthquake of 1755. Picture this. It's November 1st, 1755, and Lisbon is hit by a massive earthquake, one of the biggest ever recorded. To make matters worse, a tsunami and fires follow, leaving the city in ruins. It was a disaster of epic proportions, and the impact was felt throughout Europe. But the earthquake did more than just physical damage. It made people question their beliefs about God and suffering. In the aftermath, a guy named the Marquis of Pombal stepped up to rebuild Lisbon. He created strict building codes and made sure the city was better prepared for future earthquakes. His efforts made Lisbon a symbol of resilience and modernity. This event also paved the way for political changes that would eventually lead to Portugal becoming a republic. While Lisbon was being rebuilt, political tensions were brewing. By the late 1800s, Portugal was dealing with a tough economy, social unrest, and a monarchy that seemed out of touch with the people. It was like a pot of water about to boil over, and in 1910, it finally did. The monarchy was overthrown, and the first Portuguese republic was born. The revolution was fueled by a desire for change, dissatisfaction with the king, and a series of events that pushed people over the edge. King Manuel II, the last king of Portugal, hightailed it to England, leaving the country to figure out this whole republic thing. It was a time of both hope and confusion, with different political parties fighting for power. The new republic faced its fair share of drama, but through it all, the Portuguese spirit prevailed. The republic laid the foundation for a more modern and democratic Portugal. Portugal's involvement in the World Wars was like being dragged to a party you didn't want to go to. In World War I, Portugal sided with the Allies because they had to protect their colonies in Africa from Germany. Portuguese troops were sent to the front lines, and the war took a toll on the country's economy and politics. World War II was a different story. Even though Portugal was allies with Britain, they managed to stay neutral thanks to their clever Prime Minister Salazar. The country became a hotbed for spies from both sides, hanging out in Lisbon's cafes. Portugal's neutrality allowed them to provide refuge to thousands of people fleeing the war. They became a safe haven for Jewish people and other groups facing persecution, thanks to the efforts of diplomats like Aristides de Sousa Mendes. Portugal's role in the world wars was a mix of obligation, neutrality, and compassion. Today, Portugal is a thriving democracy known for its amazing culture, friendly people, and breathtaking scenery. It's part of the European Union, and its economy is a cool mix of traditional industries and cutting-edge technology. From its beautiful cork forests to its tech startups in Lisbon, Portugal embraces both its past and its future. The country is a leader in renewable energy, using wind and solar power for a good chunk of its energy needs. Portuguese food, music, and art continue to amaze the world, making it a top destination for travelers looking for a unique experience. The Portuguese people have this zest for life that's contagious, and their history is a testament to their resilience and creativity. As Portugal continues to grow and change, it remains a symbol of hope and inspiration. So, there you have it. Portugal's journey through time is a tale of exploration, transformation, and renewal. The next time you find yourself in this enchanting country, raise a glass of port and toast to a nation that's as rich in history as it is in heart.